In this story about Willow, when you hear this, turn the page. This story is called Magic Golf. Hello, it's Willo the Wisp here. The other day, Mavis Cruet, that rather overweight fairy, came bouncing along through the woods looking very pleased with herself. She had invented a new game. Now, since our Mavis is not one to keep such little pleasures to herself, she explained this amazing new pastime to some of her friends. Come with me, and I'll tell you all about it.
My new game,
announced Mavis proudly to the Moog, Car Wash, and Arthur,
is called Magic Golf. It's ever so easy to play. Look, I'll show you.
Mavis moved back a few paces so that everyone could get a clear view. Car Wash adjusted his glasses so that he wouldn't miss whatever it was he was supposed to see, while Arthur and the Moog waited patiently for Mavis to...
All you need is a magic wand and a little white ball,
said Mavis, giving her dear little wand a twirl. Dead simple, said Arthur. Yeah, said the Moog.
Then,
continued Mavis,
you raise the wand like this,
she said, waving it high over her head.
Shout 4 and cast a little magic spell.
What then? Said Car Wash, who was utterly baffled by this performance.
Don't rush me,
said Mavis.
I'm coming to the important bit in a minute.
Mavis brought her wand down with a swift whoosh. There was a tinkling sound as Mavis's magic spell began to dance around the little white ball on the ground. Then, before their very eyes, the little white ball shot off through the trees and was lost to sight. Is that it? Said Arthur, who wasn't terribly impressed with the game so far.
Not quite, Arthur,
said Mavis enthusiastically.
After the ball has gone, you have to toddle off and find it.
Amazing, said Car Wash when they had eventually found the ball. What now?
We start over again,
said Mavis.
The secret,
began Mavis, who was about to demonstrate her skill for the second time,
is to keep your eye on the ball.
Mavis aimed her wand at the ball, and with a twinkle of magic, the ball whooshed off through the woods again. When they found it this time, however, Mavis astounded her spectators by hitting the ball into a hole, which had mysteriously appeared in the ground with a flag sticking out of it.
Hooray!
cried Mavis.
I did that hole in 2 strokes, which was very good.
Well, by now, Arthur was quite convinced that Mavis was having one of her funny turns. The game of magic golf went on all morning until disaster struck. Mavis had just whooshed her dear little wand at the ball for the umpteenth time when the star on the end of the stick flew off into the woods.
Oh, dear,
wailed Mavis.
I've lost my dear little star. Please help me look for it.
So Arthur, Car Wash, and the Moog hunted around for Mavis's star for over an hour, but they couldn't find it. Which was hardly surprising, because the star had been found by a gnome. The gnome had stuck it on his chest and had gone off to play at being a sheriff with all the other gnomes. Poor Mavis was terribly upset.
I'm no longer a fairy,
sobbed Mavis.
I'm just a small, plump person with wings and a bent stick.
Well, soon after that, who should pay an unexpected visit to Doyley Woods but Mr. Abracadabra?
"Good morning,"
said Mr. Abracadabra.
"I am the Inspector of Magic from the Department of Magic and Spells. I am looking for a fairy called, let me see now, Mavis Stewart."
"We've got a Mavis Cruet,"
said Arthur helpfully.
"You're right.
Said Mr. Abracadabra, looking at a long list of names.
Yes, Cruet. Mavis Cruet."
I am Mavis Cruet,
said Mavis sadly.
and I was a fairy until...
But Mr. Abracadabra didn't give Mavis time to finish.
When the music stops, you can turn the cassette over. "Ah, Miss Cruet,"
said Mr. Abracadabra, shaking her hand.
"How do you do? Well, now, the Department of Spells and Magic, Magic and Spells, is proposing to upgrade you to the rank of a 2-star fairy."
A 2-star fairy.
Said Mavis.
Gosh!
Now, it was a great honor to be made a 2-star fairy. You can always tell a 2-star fairy just by looking at her wand. Do you know how? Because it has 2 stars on it, Mr. Abracadabra went on.
"Your promotion will, of course, depend on your performing a few acts of magic, Miss Stewart. A mere formality, you know."
Mavis was just about to tell Mr. Abracadabra that she couldn't do any magic when Arthur stepped forward and took control of the situation.
"Shush, Maeve, leave this to us, girl,"
he said. Carwash and the Moog nodded in agreement. The first test began.
"Now,"
said Mr. Abracadabra, pointing to a small pebble on the ground,
"I want you to turn that pebble into a caterpillar."
As quick as lightning, Arthur hopped onto the pebble.
"Oh, well done, Miss Stewart,"
said Mr. Abracadabra.
"Now, for your second test, I want you to change that caterpillar into an elephant."
"An elephant?"
shrieked Arthur.
"But we haven't got an elephant."
Then Arthur had one of his bright ideas.
"How about a nice green pussycat?"
he said, pointing to Carwash. Carwash grinned and nodded, but the Inspector of Magic shook his head.
"No,"
he said firmly.
"it must be an elephant. Specified procedure, you know."
Then all is lost,
sighed Mavis. But it wasn't. On a nearby tree sat Twit the bird, who had been observing these goings-on with considerable interest. Then Twit, who is a bird of remarkable talent when the mood takes him, took action. He swooped down and plucked Mr. Abracadabra's glasses off his nose. Then he flew up to his tree again, backwards.
"Something has removed my spectacles,"
said Mr. Abracadabra.
"A tragedy, for without them I can see nothing."
Whereupon the Moog pricked up its ears and grinned. It had thought a clever thought, which was a notable achievement since Moogs are generally regarded as rather stupid creatures.
So,
said the Moog, flopping down in front of Mr. Abracadabra,
you can't see me then?
"Regrettably, no, sir,"
said Mr. Abracadabra.
"Who are you?"
I am the Moog,
said the Moog.
I am an elephant with a long nose and happy ears.
Well, that was a terrible fib, but it worked.
"An elephant!"
cried Mr. Abracadabra.
"Oh, congratulations, Monsieur It. You have passed."
And with that, the Inspector of Magic gave Mavis her star and disappeared. Arthur stuck the star onto Mavis's stick, and everyone was very happy until Mavis started another round of magic golf. "The secret of this game," said Mavis, taking a swipe at the ball with her new wand, "is to keep your eye on the ball." "Oh dear," said Mavis later that morning. "Has anyone seen my ball?" Lost balls. Mavis Cruet has been playing golf in the woods and has lost 6 balls. Can you help her find them all?